Hi there, this is George Wachiuri, and once again I'm here to share something that many people won't like to share, but I want to share with you because I want to be as real, as genuine as possible. And this is a testimony or a story of the time I panicked. The time I panicked. And what made me panic is the idea of going back to Kenny. You know, my daughter calls me Kenny boy. And remember those days, you know, Kenny is one of the driest places in Nyeri County. And some years back, there was no settlement, there was nothing, there was no water. And there was this time that I did my fourth year in the university. And those who have read my book, you know that in the university, I used to wash people's clothes. I used to be a barber, you know, I was shaving people. And also my small house was like a library. I was taking photos to raise my fees. So time came that, you know, we are finishing fourth year and everybody was busy looking for a job. Then I said, George Wachiuri, now, what do you do? And then there was a story that during that time, there was a story that was trending that during that year, there were no jobs. And it was known that graduates were finishing and just going home to rot there. So I was not exceptional. So I panicked. And that's the time I decided to form a kind of a group of friends. And I remember we were 4 friends. And then I called all of them. I asked them, what do we do? Do we go back home after finishing Lower Kabete campus? We say no. So I suggested a strategy. I told them, what if we do applications? We do as many applications as possible. Those days, there was no email. So we had to do manual application. I remember at night, one night we did 45 applications, and you are writing by the hand. And within 3 weeks, we did 300 job applications. So every person, the 4 of us, we did 300. And then these applications was actually blind applications, whereby maybe you've heard of Wachiuri Supermarket. You write there. You just say HR, Wachiuri Supermarket. You heard of a company, Bitco, you write there. Optiven, you write there. Of course, that time Optiven was not there. And we did these letters. Now the issue is we could not afford the money for the stamp. Some of these organizations, we did not know the address. So what did we do? We shared Nairobi into 4. Me, I was sent to Babadogo and Town Center just to drop those letters. As you are sent, others were sent in industrial area. Others were sent in different regions of the city of Nairobi. So as you go to drop, you carry 4 letters. 1 for yourself and 3 for your friends. And I remember this time that I was very embarrassed. I actually felt depressed and stressed. You know, I went to drop these applications and I met this security man. In Kenya, we call them watchmen. And this guy saw me carrying brown envelopes. And this guy knew this young, thin boy is looking for a job. So he literally chased me away. Say, there are no jobs here. No jobs here. Go. You can't enter here. Then I pleaded with this soldier. Nikamwambia, please, take these 4 letters, drop them to the HR department. Somehow, because I nilinyenyekea, I was shaky a little bit. So the watchman picked the 4 letters. I did not know that he would deliver these letters to the HR. To my surprise, I discovered later that the letters were dropped. How did I discover? I was called for an interview. You know, I went for an interview, and by the grace of God, I was asked, have you ever worked in any other place? Then I asked myself, does this guy know that I'm fresh from school? Where have I worked? But somehow I remembered that I had done an internship with a Nyaga and Associate, whereby I was earning 3,000 Kenya shillings. So I cited that particular experience, and that's how I got my first job. But one of the things that I really discovered is that regardless of the embarrassment at the door, I discovered that the more we dropped these 300 job applications, I actually got 4 interview invites. So I was invited for 4 interviews. My friends too, they were also invited for interviews. And today, some of these friends are very senior. And I learned a story that even the time you think things are thick, everybody was saying there are no jobs. We refused to believe that there are no jobs. We did over 300 handwritten job applications. Some of the places we are literally walking. I remember walking all the way to Babadogo to drop in those factories there. Walking because we could not afford fare. And that one encourages you who is watching me that the way you are today is not the way you are going to be tomorrow. Maybe you have moved, you have tarmacked, you have applied, you have sent emails. Nobody is responding. One of these fine days, just like George Wachiuri was responded to, you will be responded to. It is not time to lose hope. It is not time to give up. It is not time. Before I did this particular story, I just visited Korompoi Primary School, and I met this lady who was crying. And she was telling me, I have done my bachelor's in education. I have been tammacking for 3 years looking for a job. And she was crying. And I told her, by the grace of God, you are going to get a job. I told her, can you send me my CV? Because I wanted to encourage her. And you out there, maybe you have been looking for jobs all over. Don't stop. Personally, I did 300 applications, handwritten. You keep trying, keep moving. Today, the story is different. Your story can also change so that you also tell it to other people to encourage them, to inspire them. Let me now finish my story by saying, the job I got a job as an accountant. And that particular job, for the first time, I signed an offer letter and I was being paid 18,000. Hey, that I did not sleep. 18,000. To me, that was a lot of money. And that was calculating every month, 18,000 every month. I could not sleep. I was excited. I was happy. Man, wait until the money started coming. I discovered you need a house. You need to eat. You need transport. And I thank God that that was a good start. And maybe the next story I'll tell you how I graduated from that particular job to another job, to another job, to business, to one business, to another, so that you can be encouraged and you can be inspired to know that even you, your story is in the kitchen. Asante sana. See you next week, the same time at 4 p.m. Remember to subscribe so that we keep talking and encouraging one another. God bless you. Your storyteller, George Wachiuri.